The man suddenly realized, you could get trapped and die on an ice floe. Can't look ahead of the unattainable distance. The next minute he's holding the dog. He dumped him in ice water. But the dog jumped, ran across the river. Turns out the master wanted to be alone. Pull a wet dog from an ice floe to land, faced with this impossible task. The 12-year-old dog is undaunted. He fought with all his strength. Grab the ground with your claws, in freezing temperatures of -60 degrees. Trudging forward, the rope tensed up instantly. The ice, however, did not move, but he still didn't give up. In the constant shouts of the partners cheering, he burst forth with unprecedented strength, with a strong will, beat of nature again and again. And the miracle finally happened. The huge block of ice crept closer to the land. Men seized the moment. Let the troops hurry to the shore with their sledges. He followed suit. Yerk. Success came to land, although the crisis was successfully averted. But this dog is exhausted, when the master distressed to think. Let it sit on the sled to rest. What is expected?
Sled. Stay.
The dog went back to being the lead dog. Can't be persuaded by the master. His eyes looked straight ahead. Even if I die on the road, he must also fulfill his master's mission. This is a film based on a true story. Tell the year 1925. To save the lives of Alaskan children, man with his sled dog multiple transport Serum accomplished this nearly impossible task. And this dog deserves a lot of credit, but such a good dog. He was almost abandoned by a man 12 years ago. Togo returned home, back to messing up your fun life. So the man recreated a dog crate, to keep him from running out again. This time Sepper was around. It was covered with large stones. He got angry with the dog while carrying the rock. I blame the wife for being too emotional. We started with a bullet. A problem that can be solved in seconds. It's all right now. I have days of hard work ahead of me for you. How are you gonna dig out this time? Sepper then went out to train with his sled. The dogs are gone. Little Togo wanted to go with him. He was anxious in the cage, but soon he had an idea. He began to dig a hole in the ground. The dogs were watching the show on their cages. And then you do what people do when they dig. But Togo dug 2 holes in a row. They all have rocks in their way. Other dogs his age were taller than he was. But he soon gave up. Only little Togo was still digging. He was digging the 7th hole. Finally found a loophole. He dug this hole very, very deep. Then a dog's head came out of the dirt. His friends behind him were shocked. It's more of an affirmation of his ability. Immediately, Togo, smelling his master, quickly ran after him. Innate dominance always gets the other dogs going. The sleigh team was in a mess. Let Sepper dictate what he wants. It just doesn't work. For being too short. Togo did not notice the lake ahead, went straight for it. Causing the sled team behind to follow suit. He managed to get his master into the water. The sodden Sepulave would be furious, but Togo wagged his tail. I hope I can get the master's forgiveness. After all, I didn't mean to. In an instant, Sepper put him in a warehouse. And lock all the doors and windows. He doesn't want this dog. Sabotage yourself for years. The bear class that we worked so hard to build. Then Togo in the warehouse began to dig hard at the door. The arrow won't open. He hit the door with his little body again. Remain useless. He wanted to claw at the soil. Only to find that it was compacted hard soil. Little Togo with no choice. Had to sit on the ground and look around. Just then, he suddenly realized, there's a gap in the air duct in the beam. That's the perfect escape route. In this way he used his wisdom. Step on the box. Step on the divider. Squeeze out the bottles and cans that hinder your feet. All the way to the ventilation pipe. Then a head came out successfully. The hostess was relieved to see this.
Well, good afternoon.
The clever little Togo quickly found his way. Jumped off the house, and ran off to Sepula in excitement.
Good luck, little one.
When the little guy finds his owner. Another disturbance. This time Sepper couldn't take it anymore. He decided to sell Togo hundreds of miles away. The wife looked sad. Looking at the dog is very sad, but there was nothing he could do. The husband once decided things. You can't bring back 9 cows. The houses here are not only big and beautiful. And the new owners are very dog-friendly. But Togo doesn't even like it. He just wants to get back to Cyprus. After Togo turned the house upside down, he could never find a place to get out. Suddenly he was quiet. And then the next, it goes backwards. Get ready for action. Push on. Leap. I don't know how long it took. Cypress saw it on the road. A dog's head appeared mysteriously on top of a mountain, and he was staring at himself. The act shocked him, even more shocking. Dogs can walk hundreds of miles and still be energetic. Look at the blood on your hands. This time Sepper relented, because he knows. Dogs have walked the Alaskan wilderness for a long time. I don't care if my paws are bleeding. So he carried Togo to the sled and let him rest. The dog broke away from its owner. Without hesitation, he took the lead dog's position. Cypher, of course, would not agree. He put the dog at the back of the line, but the guy next door is very mean, grinning at Togo, full of malice. He can bend and stretch. It turns into a licking dog. He succeeded in getting his partners on his own terms. On my way home, Cypher was surprised. The tiny Togo ran faster than the next man. It's too much to put in the back, so he moved Togo one row ahead. The other dogs were panting from running. But our Togo lazy are still fighting, until we get to the door. Togo became the lead dog. Cypher told his wife excitedly.
Good dog! Good dog! Most extraordinary thing I've ever seen. He's not a sled dog, he's a lead dog.
He's magnificent, a future champion. Togo has a keen sense of smell, strong leadership and an incredible sense of direction. And incredible endurance. More important is loyalty. No matter how many times Sepper sends him away, he will still return to his master, never leave without abandoning. From the initial and promising, now he has been strongly recognized by his master. Togo continues to prove that with its own efforts. This is the will to survive. A year later Sepper took Togo. Participated in the Alaska sled race. Togo leads the partners. It was an easy championship. The prize of $5,000. It also improved the couple's poor life. Later, Togo dominated the Alaskan wilderness for 12 years. Men think that life can go on and on. There was an outbreak of diphtheria in the town. 5 children have died. Dozens of other children have been infected. They're waiting for the serum treatment. However, the serum in Nomu City, Lindong has been closed to the snow. There is no highway, and there are no planes. The only way to transport goods is by mail. Only sled dogs can pass. A man with Togo in danger. Pick up Serum. They apparently had a narrow escape. Not only is it 1,000 kilometers back and forth. And this year we had the worst snowstorm in 100 years. Wives want men. Don't take 12-year-old Togo on this mission. Not with Togo. There's a good chance Sepper won't make it. You'll die on the way. He was forced to. Before departure. The woman told the dog.
You bring him back to me, okay? And you come back to me. Good boy.
Togo understands the difficulties of this journey. He looked at the hostess as if he agreed, and so Cypress set off. Everyone in town came out to see him, worrying in one's eyes. There is reverence and even more hope. After they left town, came to the white snow wasteland. A raging snowstorm is at hand. Togo is not afraid. He rushed in without hesitation. After they left town, came to the white snow wasteland. A raging snowstorm is at hand. Togo is not afraid. He rushed in without hesitation. Then they came to a high mountain. Sepper struggled into the wind, finally the top with the dogs. But the real difficulties are just beginning. An almost vertical ridge. Men have to be very careful. Because of the heavy snow. Causing Sepper to misjudge. They went the wrong way. I'm looking at an abyss. He's still giving orders for everyone to move on. Togo senses danger. I brake the car with all my strength. The slope is too steep. Too much inertial force. Men don't have time to react. Time of crisis. He wants to anchor it to the ground with an ice axe, but as soon as he stood up, he was taken down, at the last second of falling off the cliff. He finally drove the ice axe into the ground. 1 man and 11 dogs stranded on the edge of a cliff. They did not dare to move. Cypher hurried Togo upward. Togo began to retreat, then pull hard to the left, but the dogs are in a mess. How can you pull it on your own? So, he started giving the dogs commands, have the dogs follow them up in an orderly fashion. Togo leads from the front, the men behind him followed suit. They are very helpful. After a while, the sled pulled up successfully. Cypher's hanging heart finally dropped.